and now you end up on British Vogue,
I
like for
know.
something completely unrelatable.
It's like
It's so
I
cool.
can't escape.
So yeah. And then I wanted to talk a little bit more now about astrology, like for the people that don't know, because I know personally it can get a bit overwhelming on the internet, as you said. I feel like there's so much information out there,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
especially now with the new moon, everyone's talking about it, and I feel like it gets overwhelming all of a sudden. So first I wanted to start like with the basics, I think. So like the big three everyone calls
Mhm,
them, like the
mhm.
sun sign, the moon sign, and the rising. So just a little bit of what each of them means.
Okay, yeah, I'll start with the sun because that's pretty much what everyone knows. Like the sun is what you look to when you look at your horoscope. That's your sun. And that's kind of like your general personality traits. Like that's the part of you that's always like evolving throughout your life because it symbolizes your like your basic core identity and what your goals are, stuff like that. Um, and then your rising sign, you need your exact birth time for that because that's the sign that was on the eastern horizon at the moment you took your first breath. So exact time's crucial, and the rising sign really shows how you like come across when you first meet people, how you jump into new experiences, what you're comfortable like showing off to people just like immediately. Um, and then the moon sign is a little more hidden. For that, you also need kind of an exact time because the moon moves very quickly. The moon sign is like your core emotional self, and also it just describes like how like the emotions you go back to maybe when you're in like a distressful situation, like how you kind of immediately react. And also like the little habits you have for yourself at home. Like it's a very intimate type of thing. So I always say with like roommates and like romantic relationships, look at someone's moon sign because that's really going to show you how they act like in more close settings with people.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, that's really interesting. Yeah. Because the thing is I'm a Sagittarius. You
Mm-hmm.
have all my like my charts,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
like my date
Yeah.
and my birth time and all of that. And I'm a Sagittarius and I never fully felt like what people said a Sagittarius was.
Mm-hmm,
I was like,
mm-hmm.
like I think, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm,
And then
mm-hmm.
I saw I had a Scorpio moon and I was like, oh, I think
Mm-hmm.
I get it now. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
An Aquarius rising. So it's,
Yeah, also.
do you know like the traits of those?
No, not the Aquarius racing, but I know that the Scorpio moon, at least it had like a bad rep for a couple of years at least. Everyone was like, oh, you have a Scorpio moon? And I was like, yeah, yeah, is that a bad thing?
No, I
But I
love
feel like I
Scorpio.
feel very intensely, you know? I feel like that's what it means, at least for me.
Yeah, I feel like Scorpio moon is just like very intuitive. Like you can like kind of sense like another person's energy and you can just like pick up on like little subtleties around you.
Yeah, I was listening to your podcast the other day, and your co-host also
Hmm.
has a Scorpio moon, and she
Yeah.
always talks about it, like how people were like, "Oh my god, you have a Scorpio moon," and I was like, "Oh my god, people tell me the same thing."
I know people always think it's bad, but it's like one of my favorite moon signs just because it's like no nonsense.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
know what I like, I know what I don't like, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wanted to talk a little bit of an overview of what you can see on your chart besides those three, because I know,
Hmm.
for example, that you go to more, I think it's Venus to see
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
relationship and what you like in relationships and all of
Hmm.
that. And I wanted to like know a little bit what you can learn with your whole birth chart, but also when it comes to career, if there's something that you can look there
Hmm.
that kind
Hmm.
of gives
Hmm.
you a sign of where to go to.
Yeah, so your birth chart is like a circle. It's like a diagram in a circle form. And within that circle, there's 12 different sections, which are called the 12 houses. And so each of those houses represents a specific area of your life. So there's like three that pertain to work and money. There's a couple that pertain to relationships. One's like friendships, one's home and family, and then there's a few others that are like self and learning. But basically, when you have a lot of planets, where the planets were positioned when you were born, a few are going to fall into just a couple houses in your chart. You're not going to have all 12 houses full. So, depending on where your planets are falling, kind of shows what area of life is most emphasized for you. So, it could show you if you're someone that like needs a lot of like friendship in your life and always has to be like involved in groups, or if you're super career focused and like work always comes first, or if like intimate one-on-one relationships are important and you like meet someone when you're like 18 and like that's your partner for your life. So it can show just like what is more of a priority for the person and like what their natural skills are, what comes more easily versus what is more challenging. Does that make sense?
Wow, no, I love that. Yeah, yeah, it totally makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to like process the information.
So for
But
instance,
yeah, it
I
totally
guess to
makes
give
sense.
your chart as an example, like your Scorpio moon, you have a Scorpio moon, but in your birth chart, it's in the
Yeah.
10th house of your chart. So the 10th house is associated with like career, ambition, kind of having public attention for your job. So your emotions are tied into that. So you may feel like way more emotionally fulfilled when you feel like you're doing well within your career. And when you feel like your career is not going well or you get
Yeah.
like bad criticism, that can really like hurt you. And I don't know, probably just make you like way more upset than like the average person.
Yeah, so I just wanted to know, like, so basically, for example, going back to the Scorpio moon example, where the house falls, I don't know how to really phrase it, but basically, the house that that sign has in your chart is
Mm-hmm.
basically what it means. Like, I don't have a Scorpio moon when it comes to, I don't know, relationships. Like, relationships,
Exactly.
maybe I have another characteristic. Oh, okay, okay.
The
Oh, it
Scorpio
totally makes
moon
sense.
will come out in your relationships just because that's always there. But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it maybe more intensely comes out in career. Like very driven, like
Yeah.
Scorpio moon traits are like kind of being obsessive and like really having your sights set on one thing and working to like the end of the earth until you accomplish your goal. So that for you would come out more in career.